And just like that, remind me to never play mixed tennis with Charlotte. Yikes.
I will not apologize for playing good tennis. You're driving me crazy.
I imagine at some point you're going to start dating again, right?
I mean, I'm not even thinking about that yet.
Hello everyone, the December review here, back again with the next installment of AJLT. As always, spoilers are ahead, so make sure to check out the show, only on HBO Max. Another week has gone by and episode 7 felt very symmetrical in its story, with different couples sharing similar scenarios and awkward moments for everyone involved. I enjoyed it very much. Right off the bat, we get another time jump as we open to Carrie in her window plugging away on her new book. It felt like a year could have gone by, but going by Miranda's conversation with Che later on, it's been about another 3 months. So Carrie's book is done, and while her editor loves it, she feels it needs a bit more of a happier ending and encourages Carrie to find some hope, which results in her hitting the online dating scene. Miranda tries to spice things up with Steve, but instead the pair fumble over each other, leaving Miranda to question the relationship even more. Then that Che conversation happens, and they go from a one-time thing to a full-blown affair. And for Charlotte, well, she goes into full crazy mode while teamed up with Harry for a tennis match. Her ultra, and I mean ultra, competitiveness comes lashing out after she knocks him down. He spends the rest of the episode looking for an apology, but for Charlotte, in no uncertain terms, isn't giving him one.
Sorry, not sorry.
Naya and Miranda bump into each other as their relationship becomes more involved. Miranda meets her husband Andre, and Steve meets Naya all for the first time. There was really a nice mix of funny and serious to be found here. The storylines once again continue to move along for all the cast members that were featured. For Carrie, getting a bit pushed into the dating scene has a twofold effect. One, it gives her book the ending it might need, while also allowing her to step outside the big bubble she is in, reconnecting with other people who may or may not have something they can offer. As for her first date, she chose Peter, who just so happens to be on his first date under similar circumstances. We don't get to see much of the details, just the meetup and the rather unfortunate ending where after a few too many drinks, they both lose it outside of the restaurant. Sure, it's rather gross, but I also laughed and it gave a very audible "oh man" at my screen. It's a well-timed sight gag. Later on, at a benefit charity auction where most of our leads are attending, Carrie sees Peter and tries to hide, sending Anthony around to see if he's left. She also happens to be part of the auction and bids begin on a lunch date with her. No one in the crowd is engaging, so Charlotte steps in first, outbidding herself in a rather funny moment before Carrie jumps in to save face. Well, as you could guess, the winning bid ends up going to Peter, so date number 2 is still to come. That auction scene had a lot of good going for it. It starts off with Lisa Todd Wexley and her husband hosting the event, and Lisa just can't seem to hold her microphone correctly. I was also convinced, and I mean convinced, that Aiden was going to be the final bid. They did a great job framing the moment where at first if no one jumped in, that would have been fine, but it was shot and edited perfectly with just enough tension and a surprise was bound to happen. I would have bet $100 it was Aiden, and I would have been out $100. Miranda's arc is becoming a bit more clear here, or at least a little more focused. The show seems like it's trying to keep Che a bit of a mystery to everyone. In the 3 months that's passed, Miranda's text had gone unanswered, leaving her a bit upset when the two do meet again. But we are swerved by Che, who seemingly didn't mean not to get back to her. She somehow missed it, and they pick up where they left off. It's unclear as of now Che's intentions in all of this, and just how we, the audience, should react to things. On one hand, if Miranda is so unhappy, following your heart is fine, but if all this is just a game for Che, then all that's really going to do is just hurt everyone involved, especially Steve. And judging by the preview for next week's episode, this situation is about to hit the fan. And I must say that Charlotte and Harry were standouts here. Her glorified maniacal behavior about not apologizing is equal parts hysterical and a bit of a side of the character we haven't seen much of. The excellent chemistry they have together shines during their scenes, much like Charlotte's reactions during the moment in the last episode when Miranda tells her about Jay for the first time. Kristen's acting and timing is tremendous. Sprinkled throughout the episode are some other funny moments. We get a rather bizarre guy in a crosswalk who isn't too happy with Naya, and Anthony continues his excellent work here as well as getting a handful of great lines. He is definitely the show's MVP. And there's also a cool shot of the nighttime Manhattan streets outside Radio City Music Hall. So all in all, episode 7 was a highlight so far in the new season. I've enjoyed the entire revisit, and it feels like with each passing week it keeps hitting its stride. Sure, there are always a few things that could be worked on, like Carrie's constant one-upsmanship in regards to losing big, but the new cast, new storylines, and new struggles I feel are meshing very well together, and the show is doing a great job balancing the humor with the more emotional arcs. Will Miranda and Steve survive the chase storm? Will Charlotte ever apologize to Harry? And will date number 2 be a fit for Peter and Carrie? Well, I'm sorry, I can't. Don't hate me, because I'm still holding out for Aiden.
Why are you so quiet, Harry?
Well, don't you have something you want to say to me?
Like what?
Maybe I'm sorry?
Sorry for what?
You knocked me over, babe.
By accident.
Yeah, but you never even said sorry. It hurt my feelings.
Are you serious right now?
If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel for more, and let me know your thoughts on the episode in the comments section below.